the one who makes liquid software an offer you cannot refuse. Please welcome the Frogfather, Chief Executive Officer, and co-founder of JFrog, Shlomi Ben Haim.
Good morning, swampUPers. Good morning, San Francisco. Wow, I'm so thrilled to be here. So excited to see you all. Thank you for coming. Raise your hand if this is your first swampUP. Wow, that's impressive. Raise your hand if this is your second swampUP. Thank you, guys. Third. Fourth. Do we have any five? Wow. Thank you. Thank you. We couldn't make it without you, so I salute you on behalf of all frogs for helping us and giving us the confidence to do it year after year and leaping forward together with you. So thank you very much for that. I started a bit late. I hope breakfast was great, but that means that now I can be late with my talk, but no worries, it's not going to be too painful. I'm going to talk with you about what we think will happen in the next months, in the next 12 months until the end of 2020. And I'm here to say that by 2020, all companies will be DevOps companies. So this is probably what you think, right? OK, here's another cocky CEO standing on the keynote stage with a very bold statement telling us that the world is going to be changed in a few months. But I'm going to share with you from where we stand, from what we see as part of the community, as part of you. I'm going to share with you why we think that this change is happening, why this is not anymore just part of the momentum, why it's already happening, already taking place. So you all know, you heard it before, there's nothing new about software is eating the world, and software is everywhere, and everything is powered by software. Thus, DevOps is everywhere, right? Software updates are vital for our life. You cannot even have your hamburger today without software. You cannot win the election next year without software. You cannot travel, and if you live in the Bay Area, you probably remember that three months ago, PG&E pushed a software update to the grid, and there was darkness in the Silicon Valley. So software is everywhere. Software updates are required to power the world. But again, nothing new about that. So what happened? What really happened in the past 12 months since I last met you on this stage? Well, not here, Napa, but I met you on swampUP stage, and we talked about the trend, and we talked about what we see in the market. So what happened in this year? Serious stuff happened. Unfortunately, we got a reminder how important software is. And 170 people lost their life because of software. This is how serious it is. So when we say that software enables life, this movie was not a dramatic opening for swampUP. It is what we are doing. And people get that. And you see it in the market. And you see that what happened with DevOps, what happened with your industry, is actually starting to be a business and not a trend. It's not something that people are talking about, some kind of a hype. It's a business. And then you find those news about IBM acquiring Red Hat in billions of dollars, and Microsoft acquiring GitHub in $7.5 billion. And crazy investments with over $1 billion valuation for pure DevOps companies. And IPOs for the first time, like PagerDuty and Elastic. And the board of directors all over the world understand that this is a business and there is a market there, and if you cannot make it, if you cannot grow your business to be something significant, then step down and let someone else do it, and it doesn't matter if you are a CEO of $1 billion company or $2 billion or $6 billion company. And probably what you already know, 9 years ago, when we said that we want to develop everything on-prem and in the cloud, and we called it Artifactory Online, and we like the fact that it sounds like AOL. People told us that we are missing the cloud momentum. We are missing the cloud movement. And we said, well, we like it like that. We even call it the amphibian solution. And now, everything is hybrid. Everything around the world is hybrid. Even the clouds themselves provide a hybrid solution. So what you see is that the trend became a business. And the trend became a business, and people started to also change their language. Organizations started to change their language. And you hear a lot of those rumors about enterprise companies becoming a developer-first companies. This is nice. And talking about the people in this room, how important they are, and the fact that now every company is a developer-first company, and there is a race, like everyone is trying to win your heart. This is all great, but being a developer-first company means that you speak with the developer market. What we see in JFrog as the right thing is that you have to be a developer company and speak and walk with your peers and not go after the market. Not just changing the top-down to a bottom-up process, but walk and build and contribute and be part of what you call a developer first. And if you would not do it, and if you would not build your business to be ready for that, then something will happen. You know what will happen? The people that are going to take your job in 5 years, 10 years from now, are now spending their time in college and university. And in year 3, computer science, in those institutes, they are practicing DevOps. There is nothing new about writing an algorithm, but there is a lot of new stuff about what the developer should be. People call themselves full-stack developers. Not a .NET, not a Java, not a Ruby, not a Scala. This has been changed. It's a full-stack developer. Now you have to understand what it means to build software, but you also have to understand what it means to release software. And by the way, you also have to understand what it means to secure software. And this is how they are being educated. Whether you like it or not, this is the next generation DevOps. Those are the people that you will hire tomorrow. Those are the people that will be the manager 10 years from now. And a very strong proof is what happened in North America. As we speak, more than 50,000 open positions are there at LinkedIn with the title DevOps Engineer. 50,000. 50,000 for something that you cannot even learn. Like, what, are you going to a course that said that you are a DevOps engineer? And you know why? Because this is coming. A huge amount of data, running in the software highway is ready to be managed, consumed, maintained, released, secured, and everything that you know better than I am. So when I'm telling you that the world is changing, you have to ask yourself, what else is new? What else is new? And the one thing that we managed to do together is enabling this change. The first thing that you heard is that everything needs to be fast and secure. Everything needs to be fast and secure. This is the first thing you heard. Then you took a step back and said, OK, how can we scale with it? We cannot have an organization of 10,000 developers, 5,000 developers, 2,000 developers, 100 developers. We cannot have an organization like that everybody is doing everything and releasing and provisioning their environment. And you created what we call in JFrog the super DevOps. The rise of the super DevOps is the need of a very lean, efficient organization within your company, within your group, that provision the environment for everyone and provide DevOps as a service internally. And you see it everywhere in the enterprise, everywhere in the enterprise. And tools like Artifactory, tools like X-Ray shape themselves to serve the super DevOps. Then the second thing you said was security should be part of my pipeline. If it's not, then I'm going to suffer at the end where the CISO is waiting for me. And if you want me, Mr. Organization, to release 7 times a day, then I need to secure what I'm doing while building. Sounds crazy? No, it's already the reality. Security is shifting to the left. And you want your CISO to understand that he cannot be a bottleneck when you finished your development. You don't want to see any rollback on what you have built. You want to find the vulnerabilities, and you want to find the license issues while building. And if you will not do that, your competitor will do it faster than you, because they will release, and they will release a fast and secure software. The next thing is that all of you sitting in this room, and raise your hand if you don't use any continuous integration tool. Amazing. What a unified view. Yes, we started with continuous integration, and we build those integration and REST API, and everything need to work as one. Let's build one big orchestra to put the machine power and the developer power together. But it's not enough. We hear you saying we want continuous everything. We want everything to be continuous. We want continuous integration and continuous delivery and continuous deployment and continuous testing. And you know why? Because we have to shorten the life cycle of our release flow. And this is what I call, my friends, the era of the developer democracy. You have the power to live in a free world that you actually change the way you work. It was not like that 10 years ago. Organizations came with the agenda and the platform and the tool, and they said, this is what you use, this is your language, please go and write it and build it and release it once a year. And now, within this democracy, you have the power to vote, not just as a developer, individual contributor in your organization, but also as part of the community, as part of foundations, as part of open source movements. And you see big things happening. So this is why I'm saying that by 2020, every company will be a DevOps company. Everyone in this room already understands that. People outside of this room already understand that. But what will happen if we will not understand that? The consequences can be dire. And unfortunately, none of you want to be responsible for a callback, for a self-driving car, or whatever device, or whatever you do. When you release fast, mistakes will happen unless you do it right. But it was not always like that. Look at them. Look at these handsome guys. Especially the one that sits. It was not like that. You know, when we created JFrog in 2009, 2008, 2009, we went out with the first commercial Artifactory version. I think it was different, but we started to see this movement, this revolution started to happen. This democracy started to happen. People wanted the freedom of choice. And when you call and you ask for a smart proxy just to bring your Maven models, your Maven packages back home from Maven Central, we build Artifactory. When you said we need to manage packages, we made it happen. We made it happen for you. And today, everybody says packages need to be managed. And they call it artifacts or binaries or packages or whatever you want. And you see companies like GitHub releasing their package management. GitHub, like a code repository company, some of them are here in the crowd, are building a package manager. And Google have the container registry, and Amazon have a container registry, and Microsoft has a container registry, and Docker has a container registry, and NPM has an NPM repository, and Ruby has a repository, and Python has a repository. Now it's obvious. 10 years ago, believe me, it was very, very hard. Most of the people that we told them that we are going to build a binary repository manager that they can manage locally, ask us why can't they just dump their binaries in Subversion. And then we said, and you know what? It's not just going to be for the Java world. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be for everyone. We are going to support whatever technology you use. We have 26 different packages supported by Artifactory today, from Java to Scala to Docker to RPM, Debian, R, whatever you can think of, including Conan for the C++, and Go as the first repository in the world to manage Go modules. But we wanted to create the Switzerland of DevOps for you. We wanted this democracy to take place. We wanted you to have the flexibility and the freedom to choose. And if you invested in an IP and you build it for a long time, you don't have to move because I'm a new vendor now with the new technology. It used to be the days that Sun and Oracle was the Java company and Microsoft was the .NET company and so on. It's not the case anymore. You all use multiple technologies. Raise your hand if you use just one technology. Raise your hand if your Artifactory serves only one package type. Boring. And then the next challenge was that. OK, we got it. We need to manage binaries. And we need to manage all binaries. And by the way, let's bring it home. Let's manage it locally. But Artifactory, Mr. JFrog, it's not good enough. Because if I'm moving from my Git to Artifactory, if I'm moving from my own file store that I built for 20 years to Artifactory, it needs to scale. And you know what? When I'm building 10,000 times a day with Jenkins and TeamCity and Bamboo and CodeFresh and Circle CI and Shipperbell and Travis, when I'm building so fast, I'm creating a lot of binaries and I need to scale fast. So Mr. JFrog, go build something scalable for me. And then we delivered the HA environment, highly available, fully clustered, that you can scale with Artifactory. And a lot of you, raise your hand if you use Artifactory HA. Yes. And when we take it seriously, and this is 2013, OK? When you take it seriously, your crowd responds to it. And just after, we started to fight for your binaries in the cloud. We started to provide not just a cloud solution, but we worked with Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure. So it will not just be an Amazon solution, but all three of them. And we have great relationship with all three clouds because this data need to be managed and stored somewhere. And they also understand the freedom of choice and not just the hybrid world, but also the multi-cloud world. And this is probably the only thing that I'm asking you to remember from my morning presentation. It is not because of the technology adoption. It is not because of the fact that Kubernetes took over Swarm. It is not because of the fact that Docker is everywhere. It is not because of microservices. We are all on the same bus, and we left home 10 years ago. But something happened. Destination was changed. And the one that called what the destination is your kids, your parents, your grandparents that consume and use software. And they have zero tolerance for software update today. And they want a different experience. And the world demands something else. And this is why you're adopting these methodologies and technologies so fast. And if you are not, then it's just like we say in our website, release fast or die. But we couldn't make it ourselves. JFrog was part of this change. And we have awesome partners, awesome people in the community, foundations that were established to promote that. We have people in the crowd, sponsors of swampUP, longtime friend that build this market with us. This is a great opportunity for me also to thank Yak. Don't know. Thank Yak. To thank all the sponsors, people that help us take another leap forward year after year, not just by being here with us at swampUP, but also by building this community with us, fighting for this technology, making sure that democracy keep happening. And what you should expect in the next 2 days is different than what you see in other user conference. For all of you who are a first-time swampUPper, the first thing, expect zero fluff. Okay? There is no product pitch at swampUP. We are going to share with you the community best practices. This is why, although it's a JFrog user conference, we have 5 talks, 40 sessions, 5 talks from JFrog, and 2 out of them are not about JFrog, but about what we do with the community. We are going to share with you our roadmap and what we have built for you. What happened since we announced the Enterprise Plus last year? What happened since we announced X-Ray 2 years ago? We are going to talk about what you see as the unified process, and you speak a lot about the end-to-end solution versus the best of breed. What should you use? We are going to talk about that. Your friends from the community are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about DevSecOps. We are going to talk about cloud native and how adopting these technologies has nothing to do with the fact that you are in the cloud or not in the cloud. If you want to move forward, if you want to have the Kubernetes adoption happening in your organization, then you will have to push the pedal all the way down. And we are also going to give you a glance to the future. We are going to share with you what is for us the most important thing about the JFrog mission, and this powering the software updates of the world. And by sharing with you the DevOps for IoT story tomorrow on this stage and in the expo booth, you will understand why we take this world so seriously and why we say that the most important asset of DevOps is your packages, is the binaries. And it happens to be the JFrog is the database of this industry. So you sent us there, or not? I'm stuck. Means I'm out of time, or what? Okay. You sent us there and pointed the destination for us. And you told us, this is what we need to make happen. This is what our customers expect us to do. And it doesn't matter if you are a bank, insurance company, tech company, retail company, academia. We have 5,000 customers. Thank you. We are honored to have them, have you. But you also told us we need to make something different. We need to make sure that software updates run through the DevOps pipeline like water runs through your pipe. And we need the liquid software vision to happen. So it might be that the liquid software phrase is the JFrog vision, but it's your reality. And with that, I'm calling you to first enjoy the next 2 days. We have an awesome agenda for you, crazy community gathering, so you can build your network here at JFrog swampUP. But I also call you to be part of this revolution, to be part of this wonderful land that we all created and own, and keep this developers' democracy happening, and make sure that we make the world liquid together. Thank you very much. Have fun. Thank you.